Prabhupada Maharaj used to say, if there's life, if I have life, let me preach. And Srila Prabhupada used to say, if you have brought me here to dance, then make me dance as you like. So in that realm of Sakis, every word is a song, every step is a dance, every gait is a dance. So we can only speculate or imagine, or it can be revealed to us what happens when they decide to sing and dance. If ordinary walking is dancing, if ordinary talking is singing, then what happens when they decide to sing and dance? Mataji was singing a song by Narottam Das Thakur, brought the Kirtan of Mahaprabhu here again. And again, by Maharaj's Moments Association, he brought back that remembrance of association with Srila Gurudev. And we look forward very much to get his Harikatha, to become an intimate friend of his, and to see him in New York ashram the next summer's festival. Maybe we should organize a Birmingham tour of, devotees to his festival. That would be nice. Hare Krishna.
I was just meditating upon how fortunate we actually are. We heard very nicely from Shri Pavana Prabhuji. But truly it's helpful to remember our position, although we are undoubtedly suffering to different extents in material life, in this world, in this difficult time that we are in. Still, we're very fortunate. Sometimes we think, oh, it's so tough and I'm not really developing as much as I would like. One time a devotee asked the Gurudev, oh, I'm not really advancing. I don't feel like I'm properly following. And Gurudev asked him, what is your aspiration? What do you desire? And he said, oh, Gurudev, by your association since some years, I've developed this mood of one-pointed aspiration to serve the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. Gurudev said, your life is successful. Your life is successful. Je jata patita hoy, tava doya tatatoy. The more fallen we are, the more worthy we are to receive Lord Nityananda's mercy, or the mercy of Sri Guru. And so therefore we pray to always consider ourselves fallen. And as much as we can dive into this mood of bhakti with some longing and try to chant Harinam and chant our mantras and follow bhakti, then we'll quickly progress. Gurudev would say, first you have to understand your goal in life, your spiritual goal, sadhya. We see in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahaprabhu spent a long time discussing with Sri Raya Ramananda about what is the highest goal of life. And so if we can develop that mentality that we're praying and aspiring to serve the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika, this is our supreme fortune. It's a fortune that wasn't even available in this world till recently, till the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If we look at the Vedic era, they're worshipping different demigods, and some are worshipping Lord Vishnu. Different sampradayas worshipping Sri Krishna or Lord Ram or Nrsimhadev or Sri Vishnu. But to even have the understanding of Sri Radha and Krishna in Braj is so special and so rare. To have these paintings that we're surrounded by also even. It gives us a conception even of what is Braj Bhakti, what is the moods of love in Braj. And we should understand that our whole parampara has come to give us this thing. So tonight I just want to speak a little bit about the glory of our Bhagavat Guru Parampara, especially our Srila Gurudev and our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, our Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, our Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Last night I spoke about Guru Tattva in relation to a beautiful verse that we often chant. Hey Shri Guru Jnanada Dina Bandhu Swananda Dhata Karunaika Sindhu Vrindavanasina Hitavatara Prasiddha Radha Pranaya Prachar. We can understand our Bhagavat Parampara. Bhagavat Parampara means all the liberated souls who are associates of Radha Krishna, who have come to this world, who have descended to distribute this pure love of Krishna in the mood of Braj. Especially descending from the time of Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What was Mahaprabhu's desire? What did he come to give? We say Shri Guru Jnanada. Guru's giving knowledge. What knowledge? Like when Mahaprabhu spoke to Raya Ramananda, what knowledge did Mahaprabhu reveal through that discussion? Layers and degrees of pure love. Not just Vanashram Dharma, but what is the ultimate goal of the soul? Much of Vanashram is related to the body and how we can gradually uplift ourselves. But Daivi Vanashram is established to help the nature of the Atma, the soul, achieve its highest, ultimate constitutional position in love for Sri Krishna. Our Bhagavad Parampara has come to give that thing. And so Gurudev would say, you should consider yourselves fortunate and you should be grateful. Have gratitude. When we develop gratitude, then it helps us, it reminds us of what to be grateful for, and then it helps us, you could say, be more likely to perform those activities for which we will continue to be grateful. Meaning, if you don't know what you're grateful for, you might neglect those things and lose them. So if we can think, oh, how fortunate I am to have an understanding of this conception, at least a little bit. What is the glories of the Mahamantra and our Gurudev established Seva Kunj and this conception of Braj Bhakti Ras. And if we're grateful to our Guru or our Guru Varga, our lineage, then we can continue to associate with them, with their teachings, right? We realize the value of it in our lives, and then we practice chanting Harinam, performing our mantras, and also we can endeavor to serve them by doing activities like this, right? Nam Hatta. Not only when some traveling preacher is present, but coming together, at least once a week or twice a month, or once a month at least. We see Swami Prabhupada, he was a great revolutionary in this line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda. He didn't just preach himself, he engaged everyone in this movement. So we shouldn't think that this is only the duty of sannyasis or it's the duty of traveling preachers. It's all of our responsibility to show our gratitude to Sri Guru by practicing ourselves and by doing our level best to help others even a little bit. This is the purpose of Lord Nityananda. It's called Nam Hatta. Right? We come together and we perform some kirtan, discuss something about Krishna consciousness, take some prasadam. Not only that, but Gurudev would say in Kartik, he would say, try to bring some new people, bring some new devotees, do some bhiksha. Right? Mahaprabhu sent Lord Nityananda to do bhiksha. What does that mean? Patiyache Nam Hatta Jiverakaran. He sent him to establish Nam Hatta, means the marketplace of the holy name, where we come together and serve the Mahamantra. Jiverakaran, for the benefit of all living entities. So therefore, Gurudev would say, don't be hopeless, right? And don't think that my mission will stop or is over. Guru is eternal. Our Guru Varga is eternal. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev. And not only that, but they've sent their followers and they have their intimate associates who are continuing to spread this mission. Sometimes when Srila Gurudev was performing his sickness pastimes, some parties who were, you could say, a little bit antagonistic towards Gurudev were thinking, oh, now he will go, very good. The thorn will leave our foot. But Gurudev said, don't worry, I will leave 100 Srila Narayan Maharajs, 1,000 Srila Narayan Maharajs. Right? So don't think that Gurudev's mission will stop. We are not the executives, the executors of Gurudev's mission. Gurudev's power is flowing, Gurudev's Shakti is flowing, and we are simply trying to serve in that current of Srila Gurudev's Dhara, conception. How do we serve that conception? First, we must develop some gratitude and then think, how can I please Guru Maharaj so that he will continue to shower his mercy upon me? Therefore, Nam Ashrista Manupi. Gurudev gave this Nam. How can we take shelter of Nam? So we see Swami Prabhupada, when he preached, he didn't see higher and lower, or man and woman, or this race or that. Everyone he came in contact with, this is the nature of pure devotee. He gave that spark of Krishna consciousness and he engaged them. Jiva Pavana Prabhu would be able to tell me and tell us so much more. But really, we read the biographies and different autobiographies of devotees near Srila Prabhupada, and we saw how they preached. It wasn't just sannyasis, right? Even in England, how did the English preaching begin? Right? Jamuna Devi, Shyamsundar Prabhu, and a few couples, they sent them to England and go on the transcendental mission of Mahaprabhu. So this is how we serve the mission. Not that it's important, my service is also there, traveling, trying to encourage devotees, trying to myself be enthusiastic by seeing the glories of all the different devotees. But the mood of our Guru Varga is that this mission should not, the flame should not go out, right? How can this be an undying flame? Like in Gambhira, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's residence, the flame is still alive, the flame is still lit. We were just in Jaipur, the place where Baladev Vijayabhushan Prabhu established Radha Tattva. And in that mutt they had a lamp. It's still burning since 514 years. They showed us that lamp. And I gave some, you can give some donation, to buy some ghee to keep the lamp burning. But how can we have this mood that whatever we have received, we should serve that. And by serving it, we also increase our internal sense of value for it and deepen our own practice. Oftentimes, speaking Harikatha is one of the best sadhanas because it helps you go deeper into your own understanding, not only, but deepen your own practice. That what I am speaking, I should follow. Right? We shouldn't be like sometimes those stories of preachers. They'll tell you one thing, but follow completely opposite. But we cannot live such a life. You cannot live two lives properly for long term. One thing or the other will prevail. So how can we serve in this way? Swami Prabhupada, we see in his life, Gurudev would often glorify him. Everywhere he went and preached, Gurudev would first glorify Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, his Shiksha Guru and dear friend, and his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktivedanta Keshav Goswami Maharaj. At the beginning of all his lectures, right, he would mention Srila Swami Prabhupada. Vrindavan Prabhu knows very well. So he's transcribing all Gurudev's Harikatha. We hear how much Srila Swami Prabhupada, you could say, Gurudev would say, took his life in his hand. This is how he would also glorify Param Gurudev. It's called Guru Gata Pran, to take your life in your hand and serve. Then that service can become something that's not just causing a burden to your Guru. Much of our service or much of our life, we depend upon others and we need help. But how can we go beyond that stage and actually give of our life in service? Without faith in Krishna and surrender to Krishna, that's why Prabhuji was mentioning when I was speaking about sannyas. We mentioned this song, Chodata Purusha Abhiman Kinkari Hoilo Gokulakan. We think Purusha Abhiman means it's a mood of like, it's a masculine mood, basically, but I am the enjoyer, I am the controller, I am the dominator. Purush Bhav. I can do everything on my own power. So we think we need that mood to preach. We need that mood to preach. Oh, Purush Bhav. We've seen a lot of preaching go on. Sometimes Srila Prabhupada encouraged that mood. Why? You have to move mountains and boulders like Ram's army. But Prabhupada, did he have that mood? Srila Swami Prabhupada, when he came on the Jaladuta, on that boat, this song of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Chodata Purushaviman, it comes under the category of songs in Sharanagati, surrender, Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. Krishna will certainly protect and maintain. Vishwasa Palan. So this mood of Sharanagati means we're giving up everything into the hands of Sri Krishna. Then, oh Lord, make me dance as you wish. We shouldn't think this means a lack of power. Oh, it means, like we hear in the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was trying to hold the reins and steer his own life. When he gave it to Krishna and followed Krishna's instruction, then he's always victorious. Therefore, in the Bhagavad Gita, it says, wherever Krishna is present and Arjuna is present, there's victory. It doesn't just say wherever Arjuna is present. Right? Arjuna, I know how to do everything, and I am the Purush Bhav. Then what's going to happen? You're only going to be destroyed. So Swami Prabhupada, we shouldn't think he had this mood. He was only in the mood of complete, absolute surrender. Kinkari hoilo gokulakan. And we can see the effect of that by what he established. We hear that from the Vaishnavas that Swami Prabhupada, he would always be internally thinking about how to serve Sri Radha Madhav or all the different Radha Govinda, Gopinath, Madan Mohan. So all over the world he established these kunjas where Radharani and Krishna are being served so beautifully in this world. We could say like the most beautiful Archan and Thakurji service all around the world in so many different temples going on by that power of that love and devotion of Srila Swami Prabhupada. Without him having this mood, how would it be possible to be manifest externally? So this is part of his glory we should understand. That in this song, Chodata Purushaviman, in the verse it describes how can we internally become an associate, a das, a true servant, and receive the opportunity to serve the Lords, Radha Krishna, by offering garlands, by offering some bhoga, some sweets, some tambula, by doing arati. So every place, every temple where this service is going on, this is like the external manifestation of the internal mood of Srila Swami Prabhupada manifesting in so many places. So how glorious is that? And our Srila Gurudev, he came and he helped us understand the internal aspect of this mood. Not becoming simply enamored in the external opulence of worship, but understanding the internal moods of this worship. That we shouldn't think like how to see Radha Krishna in Aishwarya, opulent mood, but how to see them in a mood of sweetness. Right? Gurudev had the key, he would say. He opened the lock and he showed us how to understand and truly appreciate this mood of Srila Swami Prabhupada. Not only Srila Gurudev, but we see we're in the Gaur-Govinda, Sri Gaur-Govinda Gaudiya Mat, right? So Srila Gaur-Govinda Swami Maharaj, since 20 years since the departure of Srila Swami Prabhupada, right, from the 77 to 1996, around that time, or 94 or so, right? He was preaching in such a beautiful way, the real mood of bhakti. That's why also we should be careful if we're endeavoring to preach. Preaching doesn't just mean doing it in a way that we get enamored by the external opulences of preaching and the prestige of preaching, and we lose our internal bhakti. Right? So that's our challenge in life, to balance the service to the Guru Varga with our own internal practice. How can we chant properly with mood? How can we do kirtan, sadhana? Our Gurudev would say there's 24 hours in the day. There's plenty of time to do everything. If we look at Bhaktivinoda Thakur, again, showing that this service is not just for those in the renounced order of life. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a householder. And he was very dutifully performing his activities as a magistrate. But in the evenings, he would go out and he would take a horse. He would ride the horse village to village and establish Namhatta. Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his time established around 600 Namhatta centers. where every week or every 2 weeks they would come together and do kirtan, hear katha, distribute mahaprasadam. Who is doing this mostly? Householders, right? This was Bhaktivinoda Thakur's time. Pati ache nama hatta jivera karan, right? In Navadvip, Mahaprabhu's time, right? That's why Daivivan ashram means all the ashrams are important. All the ashrams have service. Grihastha ashram, Brahmachari ashram, Varnaprastha, and Sannyas. But we shouldn't think, oh, I'm not Brahmachari Sannyasi, then I don't have any responsibility. So devotees, I know you're doing such wonderful service. That's why I'm offering pranam to all those services being done all over the world. And Swami Prabhupada especially, he engaged everyone. He didn't preach alone. Everyone who was preaching was by his Shakti, his power, but he engaged everyone. Right? The lowest and the highest, and everyone in between. Everyone was engaged in service. And in this way, we're so fortunate to be present here. Gurudev would say, you should have so much love for... Gurudev said, I have so much affection for any devotees practicing bhakti in the West. He said, it's because we're surrounded by difficult circumstances. Right? He said in Vrindavan, in Braj, everyone is practicing bhakti, you could say very easily. Everywhere you go in Vrindavan, every house has deities. Everyone's chanting japa, everyone's saying Radhe Radhe, the rickshaw drivers say Radhe Radhe, everyone says Radhe Radhe. So we can think, oh, I should give up everything and just live in Vrindavan. If we can, it's very good. But if we've been given service in the West, even though it's dry like a desert, Gurudev said if there's a flower blooming in the desert, I have so much affection and I give so much love and mercy to those flowers. But devotees, therefore, we try to stay somewhat close to each other so we can continue. Why? Shravan Kirtan is like water. So hearing and chanting and practicing bhakti, it's water that you could say, waters the flowers in the desert. So that's why we try to come together as devotees and have some place where we can practice together. Right? Different devotees take different turns, speaking Harikatha, sharing kirtan, right? Dancing, like Jiva Pavan Prabhu is encouraging everyone to dance, like Prabhuji is dancing very nicely, like all the Matajis, very nicely singing and dancing.
You encouraged us to dance.
No. How nice, how beautiful is this? How happy is Gurudev? Especially for our, Srila Gurudev, you could say, Gurudev's mission shouldn't be on life support. Gurudev's mission is not on life support. It's fully activated. So this is our humble service that we're aspiring to perform, is especially for me and our brahmacharis from New York. We've been hearing Gurudev speak everywhere because now we're halfway through the 1999 lectures of Gurudev. And we're going chronologically through all his Harikatha. And so really going through it means going to all the places he's been. Where have you been recently, Vrindavan? The last few months?
Germany.
He's been in Germany, but this year, 1999, Braj, LA, also England, right? Watford, Bath, Wales, so many nice places. So we've been doing tour with Srila Gurudev, hearing his Harikatha everywhere he goes. And all those places he went, those are all tirthas now, holy places. And we should remember Gurudev's Vani there, and Guru is manifest in the hearts of the devotees, and also all those places he's been, wherever his Murti is present. The Vaishnavas have shown this desire. We should have Gurudev's Murti, Gurudev's books, and wherever Gurudev's devotees are present, they should continue to keep their enthusiasm alive. It's been a very difficult time now because of COVID and things like that, and also I think less preachers have been traveling. But still, Vaishnavas are coming, Pujapad Banmar is coming soon again, right? So...
Actually, COVID was a blessing in disguise for many, because many devotees came together in cyberspace and started appreciating each other more.
That's true.
And then now it's over. Everyone's like picking up, well, let's do it for real.
It's true. It's true. Everything is always Krishna's, blessing. You could say blessing in disguise.